What's going on, YouTubers? It's time for another installment of a Rant with Tychius YGO. Today, I was watching one of your Yu-Gi-Oh channel's videos. It's hard to pronounce his name for me, but anyway, I was watching one of his videos today, and basically the main point of it was, no matter what deck you use, there are always going to be people hating against that deck, and I understand that. And one of the main points that he said was, for the people who are basically like me, and who really not hate the meta, but the fact that the meta is so overused, for the people like me who think that the meta is overused and it's so evil and whatnot, he said we're the people like me who come up with these creative decks and these fun decks and these just out of the ordinary decks, we're the reason, or no, we are what needs to stop meta. And I agree with him, but at the same time, I am one of those meta haters. I really cannot stand seeing the same deck over and over and over again. It really gets on my nerves. Like today, I've had about maybe 10 duels today. I know for a fact I faced at least 3 Lightsworns, at least 2 Shadows, 2 Stellars, and I just got finished facing a friggin' Stellar Shadow. Like, what the heck? There's no reason that all of my decks should be, or all of my duels should be basically against the exact same thing. And then that's when they go, well, run anti-meta. Well, I don't want to run anti-meta. Because if I run anti-meta, then it's not fun. Because, oh god, they're running something that'll stop me. Oh god, whatever am I going to do? It's not fun. If everybody keeps playing the same deck over and over again, then that deck just becomes useless. That requires no skill. And for the people who go, yeah, I rule the world with this deck, well, I can rule the world too with a deck that I copied off the internet. Just saying. Now, I'm not gonna say I've never not used meta, because I have. When Dragon Rulers came out, I was all over Dragon Rulers. And I don't blame anybody but myself for that one. I was all over Dragon Rulers. And when they got reduced, or they got limited or whatever, I went to Elemental Plants, or the Elemental Plant Dragons, or whatever you want to call them. I went to that, and ruled the world with that. But, yes, and I'll admit to that, I did that. But at the same time, and that was, actually, I'll even be more honest with you, that was only in rated, because I knew people were going to run either another Dragon Ruler deck or a Lightsworn deck or whatever the meta was at that time. I knew people were going to run it. So I was like, alright, whatever, I'll just go with the meta and I'll run this broken ass dragon deck or this broken ass dragon plant deck. And I did that. And I'm not proud of it, but I did it and it got me at least 75 wins in that format. But anyway, I'm not saying all meta is bad. I'm just saying don't run meta in like advanced traditional, or I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called like legally, but the little green area on DN. Like, yes, you can, but why? Save basically the really annoying meta decks. Save them for like advanced rated. Save it for when it really counts. Understand that yes, you want to test your deck and make sure it works right and everything, and that's what advanced traditional is for. But at the same time, people don't go in advanced traditional to just wipe the floor with other people. People go in advanced traditional to have fun. Just like I go in advanced traditional to try out this really stupid token god deck I made today. Just because I wanted to have some fun. So I use token gods. And then what do I get stuck with? Friggin' Stellar Shadows. Like, why? It doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna run a meta deck, please try and run it at least in rated or advanced rated. Yeah, I'm sorry. It just really grinds my gears, and it gets on the people. It gets on the nerves of the people who just play like smaller decks. Like, for me to run baby raccoons in rated, people look at me like I'm crazy, but I still get my wins. For me to play Pro Godot zombies in rated, people still look at me like I'm crazy, but I still wipe the floor with them. So it doesn't matter. If you know what you're doing with your deck, you don't have to run meta. I'm not saying don't run meta, but I'm saying don't run meta as much. It's just, you can run whatever deck you want, and I really don't care, but if you're facing me, I'd rather you not try to use meta every single time. everybody who I'm friends with has a wide variety of decks, just like I do. At one point, I had well over 300 decks that were all in format, and I have pictures of every single deck that I've ever built. Well, after my first account got banned, so I had a very wide variety of decks. That's not my problem. And yes, there were some decks that I said this deck is exclusively for rated, or this deck is exclusively for underrated, and it's like, just like when I had my elemental dragons and my elemental plants, or my plant rulers. I call them plant rulers because they were elemental rule or dragon rulers at the time. When I used my plant rulers, they were exclusively for rated. I never took plant rulers into traditional, and if I ever took dragon rulers into traditional, then I immediately backed out because I knew I was using a deck that had no business in traditional. It just really gets on my nerves. I want to see some different stuff. Really, I want to see some different stuff out there. That's why I'm trying to get my messages out there. I don't care if you use meta, but just try and save it for advanced. It's just really annoying that you want to have, oh, I want to test out this really fun deck. Oh, great. I have to deal with friggin' Shadows, or I have to deal with friggin' Stellars, or I have to deal with friggin' Lightsworns. It's just really annoying, honestly, and like I said, I don't care, but I don't like it. So, what your Yu-Gi-Oh channel said was that people like me who don't like the meta, we have to find decks to beat the meta, which I don't disagree with. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But at the same time, then you get into those generic anti-meta decks. Light Imprisoning Mirror, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, this, that. And it just, basically everybody's playing the same thing, and it's not fun. Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't supposed to be about winning every single time. It's supposed to be about fun. So, this is my second rant of the day. I was feeling some type of way. Anyway, Tychius YGO signing out. See you guys later.